2022, boys! And it's in the middle of January. We got our Carhartts on, we got our Kinko gloves on. It's a little 45-degree day. We gonna ride. You don't get days like today in January generally, so you know what we do? We ride. Everybody giving the thumbs up. They're like, holy shit, it's a motorcycle. Oh, I'm a little rusty. Plus, these are big gloves, honestly. I had a hunger in my gullet, and I needed to satisfy it. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna ride. Oh, this is so much louder. After you sit without a motorcycle for so long, like with winter, you don't realize how loud your motorcycle is until you've not ridden it for a while, and then you start it up. My ears are a little sensitive. They're like, what the hell? Feeling like a badass again. I got the biker cowboy look going on right now. I got my light tan work gloves. I got my Carhartt jacket, like I said, and man, I'm just feeling like a biker cowboy now. Yeah! Never hurts to get the old stallion out of the pen and ready to run. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to be careful though. There's still gravel and stuff despite the way it looks. There's still gravel and salt and stuff like that on the road, so I can't go too crazy. Oh, I just missed that. I missed that acceleration. I miss this movement. I miss this. God, this is probably a bad idea, because now I'm going to put it away, because we're going to get snow on Friday. I want to put this away, and I'm just going to be like, why did I do this? I just want to ride my motorcycle. Ah, my tinnitus. Ow. Yeah, we're gonna back off now because you're being a dick and throwing rocks. Oh, I was like, I feel like his brake lights are on, but it's actually just the lights on the truck work, but not the trailer, so that's wonderful. Ah, the old Dusty Glide is out and about again. It feels so good. Even if it's only temporary. The trailer lights were kind of working, kind of not. I don't know. Did somebody freaking run through there with a car? Jeez. Or graze it with a car? Wow. That's about the only thing that I could think that would do that, unless it was high wind, but I don't know. I hate to say it, but this town just it's kind of sketchy looking. It's hard to believe it is a town. You know, I mean, I don't like to judge, man, but I feel like this town is built on methamphetamines. My hearing is definitely going to be ringing again. I'll have my tinnitus back in force, having not ridden in a while. And these pipes, man, they do have the baffles in them, but it doesn't really quiet it down that much. It just gives it a little bit better performance. Oh man, I'm definitely going to be deaf tonight. The wife is going to be giving me shit because she's going to be like, hey, can you go do this? And I'm going to be like, huh? What? I can't hear you. My goddamn ears are ringing from that goddamn motorcycle. Actually, I was going to want to talk about something. So actually, something that we don't really talk about much as far as motorcyclists go. Is we don't really talk about like the whole, do you buy a bike outright or do you know, finance it? And to be honest, I've always financed a motorcycle. It's been a thing of mine that as long as it fits a monthly payment in which I can afford, you know, and if I really want it, I'm going to finance it, because sometimes I think we get too hung up on like, well, it's a toy, so why in the world would you finance a toy that you can only use, say, 6 months out of the year if you're up in the north? Well, but, you know, the thing I come back to is you shouldn't let not being able to pay it outright or pay it off right away be the thing that prevents you from owning the bike that you've always wanted. Because in all reality, you know, if you go into a dealership and you say, well, all I can spend per month is $110 and I want this bike, yeah, you might end up financing it out a long time, but if it's what you can afford and it's a bike you want to keep more than a year, why not do it? You know? And that's always another stipulation, is how long do you expect to keep it? If you intend to keep your bike for more than half of the loan time, then that's worth it to get the loan, because the worst case scenario then, or the best case scenario, is you have it half paid off, and if you decide you don't want it anymore, well, you still got some good equity in it at that time, so that way you can either trade it in or sell it. And that's one thing that I think we need to like stop stigmatizing. I hear a lot of, especially older riders, that are going to chime in probably on this section and be like, well, if I'm going to buy a bike, I only will pay for it outright. And I think that it's stupid to finance a bike that you can't pay for right away. And it's, you know, that's your opinion, but you know, if that was the case, there'd be a lot of people that weren't riding bikes that they really liked, and they were just riding bikes that they could ride, you know, that they could afford to ride. And you'd have a lot of people riding 30-40-year-old motorcycles, and that's also not a problem, but it may not be the bike that they actually want to be riding. It's a good thing my tags don't expire until next month. Anyway, well, and the reason why I want to talk about, or wanted to bring this up about financing a bike, is because honestly, like I said, I've always financed my bikes, and I actually just recently refinanced this bike. And you know, the deal that I got when I bought this bike was not that great, and I was not very happy with myself for picking up this bike, and I've had to do the stuff that I've done to it to actually make it feel like this was a good choice in some ways. So I went through the process of actually trying to refinance my loan. And if you know anything too, if you're going to refinance, and this is what I recommend, if you're going to finance a motorcycle, go to a bank that you either bank with, or go to somebody that like you've had a loan with in the past. Because a dealership will put your credit app out there for the world, and they got a bid on it. Well, the thing is that any bank could actually give you a way better rate if you went directly through them, because the dealership adds an extra % or 2 on top of your loan, so that they get commission not only on the sale that you just bought that bike, but then they make commission over time from you as well. So my recommendation, as like I said, is finance your bike through somebody that you already financed through, or go and seek it out yourself for the loan amount, so that way you can get the best rate the best rate that you can. But for me, I didn't do that ahead of time, and so with that in mind, I reached this point where my finances are getting a little bit tighter, and I was like, how can I save money? And I thought about getting a new truck. I thought about downsizing this bike, but the thought of me downsizing to a different bike made me sadder than paying the money that I do and not having as much money left over. So I said, well, what am I going to do about it? Well, I decided I was going to just go and seek out a way to refinance my bike, and lo and behold, I went to the same bank or the Federal Credit Union that my wife has her car loan through, and they were able to get me down to take my loan amount from $400 a month to right around $297 a month. And so, like, that's a huge win. An extra $100 a month means I can do a lot more with my money. I can either save my money and buy parts easier. It's like, it was just an overall win-win in the end. So I get to keep the bike that I wanted. I don't have to pay as much on it per month. And honestly, I got a better interest rate, a much lower interest rate than what I was at. So, like, my end of my argument here is that don't let somebody who says that you should only buy a bike that you can pay for outright stop you from owning the motorcycle that you actually want. If you can take your budget, look at how much you're spending per month on your rent and your food on the table, your gym membership, whatever, all your expenses, you take that all up and you look at what you can afford. And if you can afford the bike of your dreams, and then do it. Finance it. Save up a little money every month, maybe put a little bit extra on your payment. It'll build your credit score. It's a great way to honestly build your credit score, especially if you buy a bike that's well within your means. Anyways, enough of my soapbox rant about financing a motorcycle. Oh yeah. Let's get back to just riding a little bit. Probably going to be a long video, guys, because I'm not used to actually riding in this time of the year, so this will be fun. This has been really fun. And it's actually really enjoyable. Like I said, I'm wearing thermals, I'm wearing like wool socks, and we get too crazy now. This guy, I like this guy. Yeah. I think he's a fellow motorcyclist and he wishes he was out riding. Whew, we've been recording for a while. 30-minute video. Hell yeah. By the prison. You don't know true freedom until you get on two wheels. And that's not just me saying that. That's a lot of motorcyclists that say that. And Department of Corrections Parole Division. Yeah, I think we better start heading back home and let the bike cool off before it gets put back in its corner and waits for eternal winter to finally subside. Probably should have checked like all my fluid levels and whatnot other than my gas level. Probably should have checked my oil level and all that, but you know what? I like living by the seat of my pants. My gut said it was fine, so only makes sense that when you're going downhill you put it in neutral and just let nature run its course as you just ease your way down the hill. Wow, that was dumb. I didn't even think about the fact that I was in second gear. I didn't do my tap, my like triple tap as I'm like making sure I'm down in first. Yeah, I'm starting to feel some cold in my fingertips, so probably a good idea to get on home. So I appreciate you all for watching and spending your hour or whatever, how long this video is, with me as I'm being a twat and driving around while it's middle of January, just because it got to be 45 degrees and it was like semi-decent to ride. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Meathead out.